All righty, I love those talks that are about real life experiences. That's cool. All righty, our next talk is by Linda Kothera, and the title is You and Your Microbiome. Linda works as a molecular biologist in Fort Collins. She spends her free time practicing banjo, making upcycled jewelry, playing board games, and being a mom. Welcome, Linda.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited to be here tonight to tell you about your microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that call you home. My interest in things microscopic started when I was in high school biology class, and we learned about microscopy and Anton von Leeuwenhoek, which is close to how to pronounce it, but he made homemade microscopes, and he studied single-celled organisms. And I think it's so interesting how he had this combination of mechanical expertise to make the microscopes, and also a curiosity that allowed him to discover all these wonderful things. So he discovered things like, he looked at pond creatures, the structure of red blood cells, and he even looked at bacteria in the plaque that he scraped off his teeth. We tend to associate bacteria with germs, and so they have a negative connotation. They're dirty, they cause disease. This Pinterest post talks about getting the germies out with a detoxifying bath. However, our bodies we share our bodies with trillions of bacteria. This is your microbiome. You could consider it a superorganism, you and your trillions of bacteria. You have about 2 to 5 pounds per person. And they outnumber our cells 10 to 1. So bacteria are, taxonomically speaking, prokaryotic. So they're simple in structure, single-celled, and different from plant and animal cells because of that. Our cells have more complexity. So where are these things? So they're in us and they're on us. This is a picture showing ecosystems on the outside of the human body. And each one of these regions has a unique microbial community to it, so a unique mix of species. Isn't that cool? So some of the functions include forming a physical barrier to keep out harmful bacteria, and also to train the immune system on how to better fend off disease. There's at least 100 species of bacteria in your mouth, and actually the composition of species of that bacteria has changed over time. We have more of the cavity-causing bacteria in our mouths these days than we used to. And as an aside, healthy internal tissues like blood and muscle normally don't have bacterial communities. Our digestive system, however, is a different story. Many species of bacteria, part of their function is to keep harmful species at bay and to keep a good balance, to keep the disease-causing ones out. Some other functions include producing vitamins, metabolizing carcinogens, helping the body absorb minerals, and helping train the immune system. Oh, and I gotta say my thing. And so 60% of the dry mass of feces is bacterial in origin. So I gotta say that. So a couple of connections to health issues. A twin study was done in Malawi, and they found that malnourished kids actually have a different gut microflora than healthy kids. There's also connections to obesity and diabetes. So obese people have a lower diversity of gut microbes, and there's a specific complement of species in type 2 diabetics. Normal human breast milk has about 600 species of bacteria, and there's actually a sugar in there as well that babies can't digest, but is thought to feed their gut bacteria. Pretty cool. Sometimes things get out of balance, and one species takes over, like Clostridium, and there's an infection. And usually these are treated with antibiotics, but sometimes that can make the problem worse. Enter the fecal transplant. So fecal transplants are exactly what they sound like. And a recent study was completed, and it was so successful, transferring feces from a healthy donor, that they stopped the study early so that they could give the control group the treatment. Another study was done with obese men, and they gave half of them cells from lean donors, and it actually changed the way that they metabolized carbohydrates. So it didn't cause them to lose weight, but it showed an effect of the treatment, which is what they were looking for. So what's in a healthy microbiome? Well, there's this project going on right now called the Human Microbiome Project, and they're trying to answer that question. And you can Google that and find out more, but they're looking for connections to health and disease. You may be asking yourself at this point, is there a way that I can give myself beneficial bacteria without the fuss of a fecal transplant? And the answer is maybe. So probiotics are foods that have beneficial bacteria in them, but I will tell you that their effectiveness has actually not been well studied or well proven yet. So that's a little bit about your microbiome, trillions of cells co-evolved, and just starting to realize its connection to human health. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. And for those of you that don't want to think about them as bacteria, think about them as metachlorians. And if you don't understand that reference, ask Nick Armstrong.